bring on the screen, but I'm going to go ahead and read her intro. Dr. Cheryl Wood, for those who may not know, she's an international empowerment speaker, 11-time best-selling author, leadership expert. She's a master speaker development coach for women. So she equips women with the tools to unleash the power of their voice and share their impact and their story. So she's trained all across the country and the world. South Africa, India, France, United Kingdom, Canada, Bahamas, and she's been featured on ABC, Radio 1, Forbes Magazine, Huffington Post, Essence, just about Good Morning Washington, Fox 45 News, and she's spoken to just about every major government organization there is. So I say that because I want you to understand who we have with us today. I am so excited to welcome Dr. Cheryl Wood to Reset 2020. Thank you for being here.
Hey, it was my pleasure to give a yes. I'm so excited. I love the work that you're doing in the world and in the marketplace. And when I connect with good people who are doing good things to serve others, it's always a yes. It's an easy yes for me. So this was an easy yes.
Awesome. That makes me feel good. So listen, you are the woman who's going to empower us. And we talked a lot of stuff today about mindset, about spirituality. We talked about health. We've talked about your story. Man, we're going to talk about making some money. We're going to talk about just some revenue. And because for those of us who are in business, or those of us who want to be in business, businesses are taking a hit as well. But we want to talk about how we're going to reset our revenue. So I'm going to hand the floor over to you. Dr. Cheryl, take it away.
Awesome. I'm going to start my timer because I'm a talking somebody and I want to make sure I am respectful of the time frame, but also that I give you guys as much content as possible. Thank you so much. I'm super excited to be here as a part of Reset 2020. When you say that word, I love the word reset because it puts you in a place of power to know that you get to reset at any time, any point in your life. It doesn't matter if it's January or March. It doesn't matter if it's March or June. It doesn't matter if it's September. You get to make that choice that you're going to reset to play from as an entrepreneur. So here's what I want you to know in terms of resetting your revenue. I want you to understand this, and I want you to say this out loud, like to yourself. I want you to repeat it, keep rinsing it and replaying it over and over and over again. Selling is still happening, even regardless of everything else that's happening in the world, even in COVID-19 and all the selling is still happening. And here is your choice. You're either going to continue to only be a consumer, or you are going to make the choice to reset and to be a producer and a creator. People are still buying, guys. I'm still buying. I can't tell you how much makeup I've bought just in the past 3 months. You know why? Because everything I do is virtual now. So I have to beat my face for all of these virtual events and seminars and conferences. I have spent more money with MAC products, makeup, than I have probably in 6 months. I've spent it in 3 months. I have bought more books than I can. I'm going to show y'all some of my books. I wasn't planning on doing this. So I'm going to do this because I need y'all to understand, like, whatever it is that you think is happening is what's happening. Whatever you think, that's what you're gonna produce. Hold on, I ain't even done yet. Wait a minute, let me get look, I have just bought all of these books just in the past 2 months.
Wow.
And that's just some of them. So just like I'm spending money, just like you're spending money, other people are spending money. The beautiful thing about being in COVID, and I say the beautiful thing because sometimes we only look at the negative side, but the beautiful I had before. Like normally we complaining that we don't have enough time. For me, even myself as a speaker, I'm normally on a plane, a train, a bus, an automobile, traveling to an event, flying somewhere, sitting at somebody's conference. I have not had this much time to create in a very long time. And so the question is, are you going to leverage this new time that you have, or are you going to sit around and complain about it and not be a producer and a creator? If you choose to become a producer and a creator, guess what? You can still generate revenue. You can still make some of the money that's out here. Jeffrey Gitomer has a quote that I love. And the quote says, people don't like to be sold to, but people love to buy. And that's the reality. And right now people are at home. They're really not out at the malls. They're not out really eating at restaurants. Like we're going into kind of phase 2 now, and people are starting to, like these restaurants are starting to have things at half capacity, but even that is having, a little bit of, it's questionable because the spike of COVID is kind of coming back. So I think that we might be in this place for a little bit longer where we're kind of stuck at home, quarantined at home. And so people still, they're looking for things to do with their time. Well, many people are signing up for classes and courses and professional development and personal development. I mean, I've seen classes from dance classes by Debbie Allen. I've seen cooking classes. I've seen Zumba and exercise classes that you can sign up for, as well as professional development. So the question is, what's up with you? Are you offering something in the marketplace that people can actually buy? And so here's what I want to do in my short period of time. I want to give you 3 things that you can do, just 3, because I don't want to overwhelm you. I told y'all I can talk. I could go on and on, but I want to make sure I keep it condensed and concise so that you have 3 actionable steps that you can implement immediately after you hear this presentation. So we're all in, right? We're all going to reset. All right, here's the first thing for resetting. Number 1, y'all show up instead of hiding out. Ooh, show up instead of hiding out. Like, some of y'all have gone into full business quarantine. Like, and I mean, even before the quarantine was the official quarantine, you went into full business quarantine, right, hiding out because you're so used to doing things a certain way. You're so used to being on a live stage. But as a business owner, one of the things that you always want to do to keep your revenue going, to increase your profit margins, is always be flexible. You never want to be an entrepreneur who's rigid and can't change and shift and pivot as the times change and shift and pivot, and things that are happening in the world change and shift and pivot. You have got to be flexible and fluid and able to move and tweak things so that you can still serve clients, you can still make your impact in the world, and you can still generate revenue on a consistent basis. So during COVID-19, you want to ask yourself, am I showing up? And when I say showing up, I mean being visible so that people have the option to buy from you. Hear me loud and clear. People can't buy what you won't put out into the marketplace and sell. That's right. So if you're not even showing up to offer what you have, guess what? People can't purchase it. I promise you, I don't care what you teach, what you sell, service-based, product-based business. Here's one thing I can promise you that is truth. Like, this is not an opinion, this is truth. Somebody, somewhere is seeking what you know right now and is ready to invest in it right now. I promise you that. Somebody somewhere in the world is looking for, searching for, seeking what you know or what you sell, and they are willing to invest in it right now. But because you're hiding out, instead of tweaking things and shifting and being adaptable and being flexible, guess what? You are automatically giving them the option to only go to your competitor. So when you don't show up, you can't get mad that somebody else is getting all them coins because you're hiding out instead of being able to be flexible and to be adaptable. So always remember this: visibility will always trump ability in your business. Visibility will always trump ability. Visibility is the thing that gets your foot in the door, and then your ability keeps your foot there. So you first got to get the entryway into the door with the customer, with the client, with that corporate contract that you want to get, that corporate client, whatever it is, however you're serving, B2B, B2C, it doesn't matter. But you have to have visibility, which means you got to show up as an expert. You got to show up with giving expert advice. You got to consistently educate and inform people in the marketplace, because people have options, especially now in the virtual marketplace. People have a lot of options, global options, not just local options. And so with those global options, are you one of them? Are you able to be found, and are people able to connect with you easily and quickly? So here's the questions I want you to ask yourself. 4 questions under this piece of number 1, showing up and not hiding out. Number 1, am I consistently being visible? Number 2, how often am I being visible? Like, how often am I showing up? Is it once in a blue moon? Or do my people know that I'm consistently going to be here? I'm going to be here every day on Facebook Live, or I'm going to be here every week, or every Wednesday, you're going to hear from me through my newsletter. Whatever it is, however you're showing up, how often are you doing it? Number 3, where am I showing up is what you got to ask yourself. Meaning, am I showing up in the places where my target audience is actually hanging out? Or am I just showing up anywhere and everywhere, hoping that somebody thinks I'm their answer and will actually invest in what I'm offering? And then last but not least, number 4, when I do show up, am I speaking to someone or am I speaking to everyone? Because speaking to someone means you've niched down. There's something that you have mastered so well that you know you want to magnetize a specific audience so that you can teach that mastery to them. That means you cannot just be a generalist. You got to be a specialist at something. And you can specialize in more than one thing, but not at the same time. So that's why we talk about mastery. What is it that you've mastered? What is it that, and I'll reframe it like this. Don't dabble, dominate. What is the thing that you don't dabble in it? Oh, I'm not just good at it. No, I'm amazing. Maya Angelou has a quote that I love that says, pursue the thing you love doing and do it so well that people can't take their eyes off of you. When you dominate in something, people can't take their eyes off of you. They're like, I don't know how she do what she do, but I just want to know how to do it. I just want her to teach me. And that's when you get that revenue, because now there's something that you're executing, something that you're doing that they're like, I can see myself doing that. I could see myself on stages, or I could see myself speaking into the lives of others, but I don't even know where to start. I don't know how to do this thing. And so you always want to make sure that you're visible. Let me move on to number 2. Y'all ready? Y'all with me, right?
We're
Number
ready.
2. Take inventory of what you already are sitting on as it relates to your subject matter expertise. Take inventory of, yes, take inventory, y'all, of what you're already sitting on that somebody else is waiting on, that's in your realm of a subject matter expertise. So you first have to know, what am I the subject matter expert on? And it can't be 50 things. Like, because then you get lost in the noise of everybody else who's a jack of all trades or a Jill of all trades. No, I dominate as a master speaker development coach. Like, that is my lane. Are there other things I can play in? Yes. Are there other things I can teach? Yes. But when you talk about domination, that is the speaker world. That's my lane. And so I always say, play in and stay in your lane. Play in and stay in your lane. And be okay showing up just authentically as you're staying in and playing in your unique lane of brilliance, because that is going to allow you to magnetize people who are the right fit for you. The worst thing you can do is try to look like, walk like, talk like somebody else because you saw them show up a certain way and you thought that was the way. Oh, I need to be more technical like that person. Oh, I need to be funnier like that person. Or no, you just need to be you because everybody else is already taken. So when you're just you and you take clear inventory of what you're sitting on that somebody else is waiting to invest in, you can show up in all of your brilliance, because that's going to be the thing that's going to magnetize people who are the right fit. I'm going to say something very powerful right now. This is so important for everybody to understand. Please do not devalue what you know just because it comes easy to you. Please do not devalue and diminish what you know just because it comes easy to you, and you won't sell it. You won't put a price tag on it because you feel like, oh, everybody know how to do this. Oh, this is just too simple. This is just too easy. Nobody's going to want to buy this. No, here's the 4 things you need to do. After you take the inventory, you need to package it. You need to put a price tag on it. You need to promote it, and then you need to sell it. Those 4 things have to be on rinse and repeat. They have to be a consistent, ongoing thing. I'm going to take inventory of what I know. Then I'm going to package it. I'm going to put a price tag on it. I'm going to promote it, and I'm going to sell this thing. Oh, not once, over and over and over again, repeatedly, so that you're always offering that thing that you promise people can have, right? Because as entrepreneurs, whether we're product-based or business-based, whether we're speakers, coaches, it doesn't matter. We're promising people there's something that they can have and experience on the other side of what they currently have and experience. Most of us are offering either a solution to a pain, or we're offering people the opportunity to fulfill a desire that they have. That's what all of us are doing. And so you want to make sure that you are putting it together, packaging it so that someone can be able to get access to the thing that you say that they can have. Like, don't promise me that I can be a highly paid and highly booked speaker, but you don't even have any offerings that teach me how to do it. Right. That's literally like opening somebody's eyes up to what's possible and then saying, okay, good luck with that. Hope that works out for you. Right? Like, we're not in the business of doing that. We're in the business of impacting people's lives, helping to transform their lives by offering them what we know. So let me give you this example. So when I say take an inventory of what you know, in terms of your subject matter expertise, and then packaging, promoting it, selling it, putting a price tag on it. So come up with what's kind of your overall SME, your subject matter expertise. So for me, I'm going to use a category of speaking. That's my subject matter expertise. Then I blocked, I was like, okay, so how do I break this down into segmented content that I can sell, that can generate revenue for me? Well, guess what? I can break it down into 10 different topics just under the topic of speaking that I can sell. And I can sell those topics through a webinar. I can sell those topics through a boot camp event. I can sell those topics through a virtual conference. There's a variety of ways that I can sell the content. So let me share with you how I break it down. So speaking is the big category. That's the subject matter expertise. I can teach you how to develop a signature speech. That's a whole class by itself. Number 2, I can teach you how to craft and deliver your signature story. That's a whole class by itself. Number 3, I can teach you how to set your speaker fee. Number 4, I can teach you how do you get started if you're a new speaker. Like, what does that speaker asset checklist look like that you should have that's going to allow you to be able to get booked more? Number 5, I can teach you how to increase your visibility as a speaker. How do you get seen and heard? How do you go from the invisible speaker to the visible speaker? Number 6, I can teach you how to get booked for corporate engagements. Why? Because I've done it. I've spoken for NASA. I've spoken for FBI. I've spoken for the United States Department of Defense. I've spoken for Verizon, not once, not twice, not 3 times, numerous times. So I can teach that. All right, here's another one. Number 7, I can teach you how to format a official proposal for speaking. Number 8, I can teach you how you should put together your speaker contract. Number 9, I can teach you how to leverage your book. First of all, I can teach you how to write the book. The next thing behind it, I can teach you how to leverage the book to get booked more, to get hired more for speaking. Number 10, I can teach you how to increase your sales when you're doing a virtual or live event. Y'all, that is 10 distinct separate topics that I can turn into content that I can sell. So when I tell you taking full inventory and not devaluing any part of what you know, stop assuming that everybody knows what you know. Stop assuming that, oh, that's just too basic. That's too simple. I know people already know that. And you don't put a price tag on it and sell it. Meanwhile, somebody over yonder who has just literally a 1/10 of your talent and a 1/10 of your knowledge, they over there selling the stuff that you thought was so basic nobody would buy, and they already a millionaire. Hello. So we got to shift our thinking about what we're offering in the marketplace. All right, and then last but not least, because my time is running out, last but not least, number three, y'all. Meet prospective clients where they are by creating a DPO. You want to reset your revenue? Meet prospective clients where they are by offering a DPO. A DPO is a diversified portfolio of offerings, meaning everybody's not starting at the same start line, right? It's almost like when you see runners, like there are some people who are ahead and some people are further behind. Like everybody has their own starting point. And so you might have someone who's a newbie, you might have someone who is emerging, you might have someone who is seasoned and they need support. Like, have you segmented your content and created these different offerings as a diversified portfolio, or we'll call it a menu of options, so that they can start based on where they are right now and what they need? And there are 4 things that you can do as it relates to your DPO, your diversified portfolio of offerings. And before I do that, let me share this. The DPO would be, like, I could give you 20, but I'll just give you a couple. Webinars, you can do paid webinars, you can do individual coaching, you can do VIP days. Yes, I still do VIP days virtually because people aren't flying anywhere. I can do live events, conferences when we're back out of COVID. I can do a virtual conference like Ryan is doing here. I can do virtual training sessions. I can do digital products. Like, the list just goes, it's endless, the things that you can offer. I can do a certification. So right now I have a women's speaker certification program. I can do book anthology projects. All of that is revenue. It's all revenue. The question is, how many are you tapping into? Are you doing one thing and putting all your eggs in one basket, or are you diversifying? All right, so that's important for you to know. And then in closing, the 4 things that you want to consider when you're creating a DPO are price points, time investments, learning styles, and modalities of learning. I'm gonna repeat that. 4 things you should consider when you're creating your DPO: price points, time investments, learning styles, and modalities of learning. So price points, meaning, do you have entry-level offers? So if the person who's like, I'm not sure, I never heard of you, don't know who you are, don't know what you do, but I kind of think I like you because I heard you on this virtual conference. Like, you have an entry level where it's like they get a taste test of who you are and what you do. Then you have your offers for mid-level, people who have been in that journey or doing that thing for several years. And you're like, okay, I've segmented my content. Here's for the taste testers, here's for the mid-level, and then for your season. So you always want to have price points based on where people are so that they get to decide where they want to play at. Do I want to invest at a premium level, meaning a VIP day or individual coaching, or I'm not ready to invest at that level. I just want to kind of come in your mid-level. All right, number 2, time investments. So you want to have a variety of offerings based on time investment, because everybody can't invest at the same level of time. We talk a lot about financial investment, but time investment is equally as important. If they can't show up for the sessions, if they can't show up for the lessons, then guess what? They're not going to be able to manifest whatever you promised them they could have. So is it going to be a 2-day boot camp, virtual boot camp right now? Is it going to be a 4-week virtual training course? Is it going to be a 12-month program? What is it going to be? And make sure that it's clearly identified when people are signing up. Your learning styles. So do you have opportunities for people with various learning styles to learn from you? Are they auditory? Are they kinesthetic? Are they visual learners? Do you have something that taps into each of those various types of learning styles? And then last but not least, modalities of learning. So there's a book that I read by Brendan Burchard called The Millionaire Messenger, which is one of my favorite go-to books. And in that, he said that there are 5 modalities of learning. And those 5 modalities, the ways that people learn are reading, seeing, hearing, experiencing, and mastering. Do you have options for people in all of those categories? So when we're talking about reading, do you have books that they can purchase? Do you have ebooks that they can purchase? When you talk about hearing, do you have audio courses and training that they can purchase? When you talk about seeing, do you have videos, a video training course where they can visually watch you? Experiencing. Now, experiencing is a little bit different right now because experiencing is when people want to come offline, and that's typically a live event. There are not a lot of live events right now. So that may kind of be on a back burner, but that's okay because you can happen to all the rest of them. And you can start now planning for your next live event, which might not be until 2021. And then last but not least, mastering. Mastering is always, that's the people who say, look, I want to know everything you know. I want to pick your brain like I did with Lisa Nichols. So I invested $40,000. Yes, 40,000 to have a 1-day VIP day with Lisa Nichols. Why? Because she was already 30 steps ahead of me. So I wanted to learn from the best. So guess what? She had a premium price point offer where I could master what she knows. And so mastering is typically through masterminds, which are premium price points. It's through up close and personal time with you through a VIP day or VIP session. It might be one-on-one coaching. Anytime people are getting the best of you, typically one-on-one or one to a few, that is when you're in the space of mastering. So you get to make the decision. Every day you get to choose, am I going to wake up and am I going to reset my revenue today? Am I going to stay stuck and held hostage where I don't want to be? Or am I going to make the decisions and step into action so that my money is reflective of the level of service that I'm offering to the world and how I want to impact the world? The choice is yours. I encourage you and challenge you to reset your revenue starting today. Turn it back over to you, Ryan.
That was don't go anywhere because that was so powerful. Because what you really did is you broke a lot of stuff down. You included so much stuff in that short time. But what you really showed was that there's so many levels that we can get started right now. And I think that's the biggest thing is that if you're trying to help other people, if you have some kind of business where you are providing some kind of expertise to someone, there's something you can be doing right now. There's different levels where you can go at it. And I think that when you talked about don't devalue what you know just because it comes easy to you, man, that spoke to me because, I think that, and people will look at us, people like us who are the teachers and think that we got it all together and that we never have doubt and we never have fear or we never feel less than someone else who's doing it, like, oh, if I could just get to where they are. But the bottom line is, like you said, there's things that we know, and that's kind of where the whole Passionpreneur book that I did came from. It's just how do we tap into those things that we know and realize that there is value in those things, that we do have value, that someone, we're talking about a world of almost 8 billion people. You could find a few thousand of those who want to lock on to what you're doing. You can make a real living out of just sharing what you know. So, man, that was some powerful information that you shared with us. And I want to give you the final word to close us out. And also, before we get to that, because you are giving a free gift. Those who are watching on the live page, there is a free gift. Now, I say live page, that's for those who register. You're actually watching on the viewing page. At the bottom, there's a link to the free offer for those who want to start their journey with you. But I want you to go ahead and also tell them, for those who might be watching on YouTube or wherever, how they can actually go ahead and take advantage of getting started with you, and then go out and give any closing words and your contact info.
Absolutely. Thank you again for having me as a part of this amazing virtual conference. I really value the opportunity to speak into the lives of those who have showed up for this content. And so a couple things. Number one, you can connect with me all across social media at Cheryl Empowers. I hang out on IG, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. Like, just put in Cheryl Empowers with an S on the end and you'll find me. My free gift, actually I have 2 free gifts if that's okay.
Absolutely.
So number one, my mama told me always come to the party and bring something. So number one, I'm offering my signature speech, my signature story template, because so many people they want to tap into whatever their signature story is, but they have no idea where to start. They have no idea what that story is that they're going to repeat and relive and retell that is going to become a part of their brand identity. And that's so important, because you and I, if I said Les Brown, you could probably relate to me what his signature story is, who he is.
Yeah.
If I said Lisa Nichols, right? So everybody has a signature story. So if you go to CherylEmpowers.com, you can just enter in your name and email and get the free signature story template there. And then my second gift is, if you text the word webinars with an S on the end to 313131, you actually will get what I created specifically for the time that we're in right now, which is 28 ways, 28 powerful tips on how you can have a seamless webinar. Because there are some things you need to be thinking about and checking and making sure is in place before you hit go live. So it's literally like a blueprint for people now who just are so uncomfortable and unfamiliar with the whole virtual space. They're just things that you can check off. It's literally like a checklist of things to do. So again, text the word webinars with an S on the end to 313131. In closing, what I would say is, I actually would share a quote by Tony Robbins, and it's one of my favorites. And that quote says, "A real decision is measured by the fact that you've taken a new action. And if there is no new action, you have not truly decided." So what is the decision that you're making? Are you really deciding to reset your revenue for 2020? And if so, don't just talk about it, be about it. Show up, be visible, challenge yourself to learn the technology that you don't already know. Come out into the space. Don't hide out. Don't hide your gifts. So what if it's going to be uncomfortable? I'm sure when you started your business, it wasn't comfortable. It wasn't easy. It wasn't familiar. So we as entrepreneurs have to get used to that we should always be challenging ourselves to get better. You should be challenging yourself to be curious, to be creative, to be innovative at every season in your journey. And this is just another part of that journey. So embrace this season. Don't run from it. Don't hide from it. Embrace it and show up in all of your brilliance and all of your power. You are capable, you are worthy, and you are enough just as you are.
Dr. Cheryl Wood, everybody, thank you so much. And I look forward to talking to you again and working with you real soon.
Absolutely. Thank you. Have an amazing day.
You too.